Hello, everyone. My name is Taz. Most people know me as Taz. In 2017, I was diagnosed with primary biliary cholangitis and a kidney disease. At that time, my kidneys were functioning, both of them at 12%, and my liver was shutting down. I was hemorrhaging from my nose, my mouth, and I was sleeping an awful lot, throwing up an awful lot, and I had lost 65 pounds in 6 weeks. I didn't know I was sick. I didn't know what sick felt like because I was never sick up until that time. I'm a person of faith, and I believe all things happen for a reason, but I have still yet to figure out what the reason is for the illnesses I have. All I know is that, dying is a slow process. It's been a few years now, although I was told that, at 7 years I'd get extremely ill. While I'm going on to my ninth year, and still I'm able to walk around, eat, talk, feel, touch, all the things that most living human beings can do. I just suffer from extreme chronic fatigue and have difficulty with energy. I really think that, we spend our lives making plans for our future, plans for when we're children, for what career we're going to get into, plans for what we're going to do for a vacation, plans for what we're going to see next year, or plans for what we're going to do on a weekend or our days off, or plans to change careers, or plans. And I have come to realize that we make plans and God laughs. Living with two illnesses makes life difficult. But in this day and age, it's even harder to be alive. There are so many things against people who are not well. The cost of living has gone extremely high, and places to rent, which is what I do right now. Hi, Matthew. I struggle to make ends meet. And recently, I got diagnosed with something else that I won't mention at this time until I'm absolutely certain how severe it is. It's just another challenge in life. And really, we're all faced with challenges in life. And I remember hearing many years ago, be careful how you treat people because you don't know what's going on in their life. When people see me, yes, they see the vitiligo. I tell kids who stare at me, Michael Jackson had this. That's why his skin was turning white. People thought he was bleaching himself. No, it's vitiligo, and it's another autoimmune illness. And that came a couple of years ago. And so when the children look at me, I jokingly say Michael Jackson had this. And they kind of chuckle at it and, go, really? Wow, something in common, Michael Jackson. Kids love it. So I try to make light of the different things that go on in my life. Not that it's not serious. I go to the doctors quite often, and I have to have blood tests every 3 months. This has been going on for 9 years, blood tests every 3 months. The first time when I was diagnosed, I didn't believe that I was ill. And the doctor had phoned me after I'd been into emergency for uh, uh, blood tests and whatnot. And he said, you need to get to the hospital because you're very ill. I was in denial, although I'd been losing all this weight, couldn't explain it. I wasn't trying. And, coughing up blood and all kinds of things and having difficulty moving. I was actually in a process of dying and didn't realize it. It would have been a very gentle death when I think about it. So I finally phoned up a friend of mine. She is now passed on to the other side, and asked her, and I told her what the numbers of the blood work were showing, cell counts and stuff. And she said to get to the emergency, you're a very sick woman. Puzzled I was. I was really puzzled. How could I be so sick and not know it? I was very ill. I went through various transfusions, and I was in the hospital for quite some time. And they put me on all kinds of medication to slow down the progression of the illnesses, and they were able to slow down the progression of primary biliary cholangitis and then revive the kidneys. So now that the kidney disease is in remission. But I'm always warned when I see my doctor, the kidney specialist, every 6 months, and then the liver specialist now I'm seeing quite regularly because of a new um, diagnosis that has come up recently. It's alarming, and I really wish I would have did more with my life in a sense of enjoying more, not worrying about my career so much, but worrying about enjoying life. What would I have loved to do? I would have loved to went water rafting, river rafting, whitewater rafting. That was something I would love to have done. My late brother had been in the military as a paratrooper, and he said flying through the air, you know, was an amazing experience. So I would love to have parachuted out of an airplane. I didn't do that. I did manage to see the Great Niagara Falls. That was something I'd wanted to do since I was a child. And pardon the emotion that's coming up because I think about the people. I've gone home to the other side. There's a lot. One of the things I struggle with is people being aware that I am ill. When they see me, I don't portray as being ill. I do all I can to present as being strong. And I know in this society that to present as weak is too vulnerable these days. And we need to be mindful of that and be more kind and considerate, especially to the elderly or to those who appear to have some form of disability. You know, these governments need to take a little bit more uh, interest and create more policies that take care of those who are not well. Hello. Thank you for that. My vitiligo is something I've had to get used to. Um, I had a naturally brown, beautiful light brown um, skin and thoroughly enjoyed my complexion. And now when I look in the mirror, it still shocks me, but I see there's people who say you can get makeup to cover it up. I refuse to do that. There's no reason to hide this, what's going on with me. When people ask questions and I could tell them what it is. And it's not something that somebody can catch. There's many other illnesses out there that people can catch, like COVID, which I had 2 times. Thank God I didn't succumb to that. I was hospitalized for the one. But, you know, we take life too seriously sometimes. I was just saying to people I know, I look out my window every morning when I get up and I give thanks that I'm able to see what I see and still enjoy another day of living. And I do my best to enjoy living. I cook for myself and I'll try to create things that are beautiful visually to eat because my son who was a chef at one time said you begin eating with your eyes, Mom. You begin eating with your eyes. So I learned how to pretty up the food. So when I go to sit down and eat it, I enjoy it first with my eyes and then the flavors. And, I putz around cleaning my home because I have difficulty. I also have osteoarthritis and osteoporosis, and they're debilitating. I have, a spinal disease that is causing fractures in my spine. So it's a lot of challenges I'm living with. And so, and I was absolutely healthy until I reached 60 years old. And then my whole world changed. And so, any young people out there who are still very healthy, and even those of you who might have a struggle, you got to make the best of it. You got to just say, you know what? Yes, this hurts, but I'm going to go out and I'm going to do something today. I'm going to make my life a happier experience because we are all in charge of doing that. Only we can make ourselves happy. Only we know what makes us happy. And I love standing out in my balcony and breathing in the air and watching the birds fly. And I look forward to the budding of the trees in the next little while. Spring is here. And so I love singing. I used to love dancing. I can't do that. I used to love entertaining, can't do that. I used to love doing all kinds of things. Never traveled overseas, although I was invited numerous times, and just didn't want to go across that big water. And so I think that, like the ocean sound, I had a question. Try it. Let's see. I'm new to this, by the way. Like the ocean sounds. Answer. Uh, okay, how do I get that out there? Let's go back. Anyways, I do a lot of meditation. As Indigenous, I smudge and I practice our original spiritual practices. I also love listening to gospel of any kind, anything that feeds the soul. Basically, I'm not. I'm not. I'm not one that confines my soul to just one particular way of understanding the soul journey. And so, quite often, I will listen to music that might be of a different culture. And if it touches me deeply, I'll listen to it again and again. And music to me has always been the language of the soul. And gospel, I love singing gospel. The medications I have affect my singing voice, so I don't sing as often as I used to. And I really do enjoy just trying to make my life a good life, despite many challenges that I face and the many challenges that I live with. I was always up for a challenge. And I was the kind of person that would, uh, you know, walk 25 miles to raise funds for people with cancer or do other things like that. I've always been a person to help out people. And I'm really grateful that I have so much support in my life of people who will drop by if I ask them to. But for the most part, I really prefer my solitude because it gives me time to reflect on my life. And I write. I write things, and I enjoy that writing. And so, um, my hope, my dream, is that I can publish a book. I've been published in poetry books. I've been published in a magazine, but my own book would be amazing. That's probably a goal I'll achieve eventually. I'm hoping soon if I can get you know uh, enough time to do so. And so I said, if I can't write, at least I can talk. I can talk and I can share my experiences so others can take a look at their own life and make some changes and choices that will be good for them. You know, if you have family who are not well, take time to talk to them. Send them a little gift, cheer them up. Little things matter in life. It's not the big things, it's the little things. It's someone, smiling at you and saying hi. It's someone phoning you and saying, hey, just wondering how you're doing. It's someone, sending you a message and texting you and say, just thought of you today. Just want to know I care. Or just thought of you and, leave it at that even. And just sending, I love the heart emojis that people send me on social media. I get that all the time. And it's just little small things that matter. It's not the big things. People have bought me jewelry in the past. People have bought me other things in the past. And it's the little things that touched my heart. I'm not really big on stuff. I'm really big on heart. I really think that we were not meant to be on this journey just to acquire stuff. We were meant to enjoy this gift called life. And so I am doing what I can to enjoy it, and I do what I can to bring that joy to other people as well. And thank you for spending a few minutes with me and sharing some time with me. That's very important because time, like you can't put a dollar sign on time. When I was 12, I didn't know that getting to this age that I'm at now would go by so quickly. And I see all the young people and I see the innocence, and I ask that innocence is kept intact in this world that's gone crazy about all kinds of things. It needs to come back to taking care of innocence. So time is precious, very precious to me. And when I make time for people, I am given so much of myself. So again, thank you again for I don't know what STFU means, but I really hope it's not rude. If it is, go find somebody else to get rude with, um, because I'm not going to tolerate that kind of nonsense. I think it's just crazy when people think they have the right to go and tell people off. People that don't know. That's insanity. That's a touch of insanity right there. And that's what's wrong with this world is people think they can just go and tell other people off that they don't even know. It's pathetic. And it's a pathetic move. And many of us call those people like, uh, they're the weaklings. Only weaklings will go online and start mouthing off. Real people don't do that. Real strong people don't do that. There's no need. So take care and take care of Mother Earth and take care of yourselves and find ways to make sure that you are happy. Don't make your work your life. Don't make acquiring stuff your life because you only are here for a short time, a very short time.